So this is another Mexican species of garter snake, which doesn't look at first glimpse too much at a garter snake. But this is Thamnophis Melanogaster Canescens, the black-bellied garter snake. It got its name because of a black line on the belly, but with this subspecies it's hardly visible. If you have Thamnophis Melanogaster, it has a black broad stripe on the belly. That's why it got its English name. It's a highly variable species. This one is now a little bit dark brownish, and you can see vaguely 3 stripes. But as a baby it was much more vivid red. So what you see in this species that they are born with certain more vivid colors, and when they get older and bigger they can turn into duller colors. It's a highly aquatic species, like I mentioned, and it occurs in a lot of the same areas as Thamnophis aqueus. So all the big lakes in Mexico, like Lake Chapala, Lake Cuitzeo, they all have 2 species of garter snake, the Thamnophis aqueus and then a separate subspecies, and then Thamnophis Melanogaster Canescens, the black belly garter snake, which occurs in almost all those lakes in the same subspecies. Yeah, as I said, this one is really highly aquatic. You can use a big water bowl for them. They are excellent fish eaters. They will also accept baby mice, but they're really prone on feeding on fish, and in the wild, especially in the big lakes, these will live almost exclusively of fish, maybe some amphibians and some leeches.
Nice.
Well, this is Thamnophis Proximus Rubrilineatus, the red-striped ribbon snake. Ribbon snake is just a species of garter snake, but they use the English name ribbon snake for 2 species of garter snake, Thamnophis proximus and Thamnophis sauritus. But in the end they're all garter snakes. It's a very long and thin species, and it can have a very bright red dorsal stripe, although with this one it's more pale, so that varies in older specimens. It's a beautiful slender snake. This one lost its tail, as you can see, but that doesn't hinder it at all. This is a species that occurs at the same habitat as the eastern black-necked garter snake, Thamnophis ocellatus, that I showed earlier. This one is highly aquatic. This one feeds in the wild on fish and amphibians, but in captivity it does extremely well on fish, but also on baby mice. They are not so much keen on worms. They're not so much worm eaters.
Can you give us a technique just to adapt, amphibians eaters, for example, to mice in captivity? Would you put, the mice on frog legs, for example, just to? You could send
it, yes, yeah, that's a possibility. But with babies, that's never a problem. You simply never give them amphibians. You just give them fish and baby mice.
And they directly adapt.
Yeah, and probably it often helps to give them live fish. This one, they like movement. They're very active hunters. Yeah, so you start with live fish, and then you switch to dead fish and rodents, and then they continue to feed on the combination.
Very nice snake.
Very nice snake. They're often seen as extremely nervous snakes, but I don't think they're that nervous.
Well, as we can see now, it's very calm now.
It's very calm now. Yeah.
And another question: ribbon snakes like Thamnophis sauritus and Thamnophis proximus are known to have shorter penis. Is it the case with these ones too?
I really don't know. I've never heard that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So perhaps it's a mistake when I say that.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking that yes, I've read somewhere, but shouldn't be a good source perhaps, but they have shorter hemipenis, yes, for males.
Yeah. Well,
So
maybe they have. I simply don't know. But the only story about hemipenis is really about Thamnophis caliger and Thamnophis scalaris. Scaliger is a very short species with a very short tail. And Thamnophis scalaris has a very long tail and has by far the longest hemipenises of all the garter snakes.
Okay, short snake, but
Yeah, but very long tail and long hemipenis. And the question that has not been answered is how they copulate with such a long hemipenis, because it's not so easy for a garter snake.
for sure.
So that might have to do with that biting, that mating bite behavior. That they have to make sure that the female doesn't move.
Okay.
And make sure that the female is stabilized, more or less.
Okay, remains quiet.
Yeah, exactly.
And in the right position.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah. This is Thamnophis couchii. This is a small baby of a couple of months old, feeding well in the meantime. This is another highly aquatic snake, but this one is from California, from the Sierra Nevada mountains, where they occur in very clear rivers, hunting for salmon. So they're very good adapted at eating fish. It has a blotched pattern and it has lateral stripes, but yeah, since it's a small baby, that's not so easy to see. It's a very unique species. I think these are about the first babies in captivity in Europe. But they make they do very well in captivity. They do need a real hibernation. They occur at 1900 meters in the Sierra Nevadas, where it gets very cold. So I hibernate them for approximately 3 months. Babies like this I would not hibernate for 3 months, but I do hibernate all my babies, and then I do that the first year for about 6 weeks. That's the standard I do for all the hibernating species. It's quite a long species of garter snake. Females also can reach easily about 1 meter or more, and they have quite slender build. They're not very thick and stout bodied, but they're quite elongated.